So currently, the Chicago Bulls have the best record in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, the Chicago Bulls. This is pretty surprising since before the season started, many NBA analysts and fans out there weren't really high on the Chicago Bulls. Most thought this team at best could be a fourth or fifth seed in the Eastern Conference, but currently, right now, they are exceeding expectations. Now, there are a variety of factors for them being so good this season, but for this video, I wanted to talk about the main reason for why the Chicago Bulls are doing so well to start the season, and that is DeMar DeRozan, in my opinion. DeMar this year arguably has been the best player on the Chicago Bulls, and not only has he been playing at a top 10 player level, but this season he has been in MVP conversations, and rightfully so. But the irony in this is that the Bleacher Report put out an article during the last offseason that DeMar going to the Chicago Bulls was the worst free agency signing. And so far, I think it's safe to say he's proven a lot of the doubters wrong. So without further ado, hopefully you guys had a great New Year's. And if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, the reason why you guys haven't been seeing any videos recently is because I got COVID-19 around Christmas time. So I didn't really want to make any videos until I fully recovered. But I'm all good now, so definitely expect more videos coming out this year. And make sure you guys follow me at Dream Hoops. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell to keep you posted, and let's get into it. So what's been making DeMar DeRozan so good this season? Well, one of the reasons are he's no longer in the San Antonio Spurs system. Now, I'm not saying the Spurs system didn't fit DeMar, because that would be wrong, because he averaged his career high in assists on the Spurs. But his role there was to be more of a playmaker and to move the ball for ball movement. He was the offensive engine on the San Antonio Spurs, which DeMar did very well, but DeMar's game is better suited for a system where his primary objective is to put the ball in the basket. And on the Chicago Bulls, where the playmaking role is more on Lonzo Ball and even Zach LaVine to a degree, DeMar can go back to what he's been best at, and that is being a scorer. And the main catalyst for DeMar DeRozan being such a good scorer has been his mid-range shot. He doesn't really have a reliable three-point shot, but that mid-range shot, man, it's so good, man. That mid-range shot in the NBA is pretty much a lost art since analytics took over in the NBA, showing that taking layups and three-pointers is much better than shooting a mid-range shot. Not many NBA players have that mid-range shot in their bag. But despite DeMar not being a good three-point shooter, he showed that he could still be one of the best players in the NBA, just having a mid-range shot be his primary weapon. This year, DeMar DeRozan 10 to 15 feet away from the basket, he is shooting 56.2% from the field, and from 15 to 19 feet away from the basket, he is shooting 46.9% from the field. To give you guys a better understanding of this, DeMar DeRozan shooting 56.2% from 10 to 14 feet away is currently the best in the NBA. The only other person in the NBA that is on par with DeMar DeRozan in the mid-range area, who shoots it basically on the same attempts, is Kevin Durant. But differently from Kevin Durant, some teams will go under the screen on DeMar DeRozan since they don't trust his three-point shot, but that actually barely has any effect on him because he'll go one-on-one with the big man and win that matchup almost every time. And DeMar doesn't use a lot of moves to get to his spots on the court. It's usually a quick crossover when he calls for a screen to get to that foul line area and be able to rise over the defender and score over him. So let me break down a couple of plays for y'all. On this play right here, Javonte Green decides to set a pick right for DeMar DeRozan, and the Indiana Pacers react by doing a switch instead of usually going under the screen for DeMar DeRozan. And as he's going right, in the post, he decides to go off his left shoulder. He decides to spin off his left shoulder. This is a classic Kobe-esque, classic Jordan-esque type of shot right here, where they would spin off their left shoulder and shoot a fadeaway. And that's what DeMar DeRozan did, and it's money in the bank. Let's look at this play right here. So right here, this is why I think Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan can play next to each other so well. Because you can see right here, Monte Morris has to respect Zach LaVine out there. Even though he's like 3-4 steps away from the three-point line, Zach LaVine is a deadly shooter and he has range as well. So Monte Morris still has to stay a little bit out there to guard Zach LaVine, even though DeMar right here is one-on-one with Austin Rivers. And as you see, as soon as DeMar DeRozan's about to post up, Monte tries to show himself real quick and tries to show a little bit of help, but he can't fully commit because, again, he still has to guard Zach out there because you do have to guard him up because he has the ability to make those threes. Remember, this man Zach LaVine has hit 13 threes before in a game, so you have to respect this three-pointer. And you see DeMar goes right to the post up, and he decides to spin off his left shoulder again. The Kobe-esque, the Michael Jordan-esque type of shot. DeMar DeRozan has this in his bag. Please don't think he don't. And then shoots a one-legged fadeaway, and it's money in the bank. All right, final play. As you can see, Derrick Jones Jr. actually slips the screen, and on the defense, Cody Zeller actually hard hedges right here on DeMar DeRozan, but he isn't actually going to stick on him. Honestly, DeMar could have actually passed this to Derrick Jones Jr. right here, and he probably would have just dunked it all over Anfernee Simons, but let's see what DeMar does. You see right there, he does a step back to the left to get open, and this is what I love from DeMar DeRozan and a lot of good mid-range shooters is they do a two-hand motion shot. Well, not two-hand motion, I mean a two-motion shot where they shoot the basketball above their heads. You see Kevin Durant, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, even LeBron. So these players do have a two-motion shot instead of, a generic one-motion shot, which makes it hard for a lot of defenders to block this shot. This is why I give a lot of credit to DeMar DeRozan because, man, this is a tough shot to make. But for him, this is basically wide open. This is a practice shot for him. Nazir Little, that's a great closeout, but it's a better shot from DeMar DeRozan. And it's money in the bank. But let me make something clear. DeMar DeRozan isn't just strictly a mid-range shooter. He's still a good finisher at the basket. He's shooting 59% in the paint, and most of the points results in when he gets a step in front of the defender, and then he's still strong enough to finish over that defender either with a layup or either a dunk. Now, he's not dunking as much as he used to when he was on the Toronto Raptors, but he's still a good finisher nonetheless. And when the defense does recover on a DeMar drive, he's still good enough passer to find a wide open man in the corner, or when he's posting up, either find a wide open cutter or even find a wide open man for three also. Also, when DeMar DeRozan is on the court, the Chicago Bulls have a 115.3 offensive ranking. That would rank them as the second best offensive team in the NBA. But with him off the court, they have a 107.2 offensive rating, which would have them as the 25th best offensive team in the NBA. So clearly DeMar DeRozan has an impact on the Chicago Bulls offense. They go from second in the league in offensive rating to basically bottom of the league. So for my final point on DeMar DeRozan is, in the playoffs, we have seen that you need a closer to end games for you. When the game is slowed down and you need a player to get a bucket, and this year DeMar DeRozan has been every bit of a closer for the Chicago Bulls. In the fourth quarter, DeMar DeRozan averages 7.8 points. That would be the best in the NBA. But the more impressive stat to me is that he is shooting 53% from the field, 54% from three, and 85% from the free throw line. So not only is he averaging the most points in the fourth quarter, he's actually being very efficient also. And another fun fact is that he's the first player in NBA history to hit back-to-back game winners in the NBA regular season. This is something magical we're seeing from DeMar DeRozan this year. If DeMar can keep this level of play that he's doing in the regular season so far and still be able to be a closer for the Chicago Bulls, not only do I think he should get MVP consideration, but the Chicago Bulls can really make some real noise in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, we will just have to wait and see because DeMar in some playoff series has underperformed, but I don't think he's ever played for a team as good as the Chicago Bulls are, and how, in my opinion, they maximize DeMar DeRozan's talents to the best. But we'll just have to wait and see in the playoffs and wait and see for the rest of the regular season. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think DeMar will be able to keep this level of play for the rest of the season? Do you think he's going to be able to play like this also in the playoffs? And also let me know, how far do you guys think the Bulls can go in the playoffs? So that's all I have for you guys today. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to keep you posted so you don't miss any more uploads from my channel. And your boy Dream Hoops is out, man. Peace.